Are you planning to make a move to Calgary in the near future and want to know what are the prices of houses in Calgary right now? And you might be also asking, is this a good time to purchase a home in Calgary? Well, my name is Dean Martin. I'm a real estate agent here in Calgary, and I've helped many families over the last 30 years buy and sell homes here. And I know the Calgary market really well and what drives the prices here. And so with the current interest rate hike, it certainly has made a big difference for a lot of people looking to purchase a home. What's different about Calgary versus other cities in Canada is that we have a lot of jobs and we have a lot of people moving here. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining exactly where the prices are, where I think they're going to go in 2023, and this might help you decide if you should purchase or rent. So if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and of course ring that bell. That way you get updated on my very next video. So without any further ado, let's get started right after this. All right, so let's start off with where are prices right now. I'm going to show you a few screenshots here of current house prices in Calgary. This particular map actually has all the different zones in Calgary, and these are the benchmark prices. This just gives you an indication of really where the average price is in Calgary compared to, let's say, if you live in Toronto, it's probably double or triple this number, or Vancouver. And so if this will just help you get an idea of where we're at. Of course, when the interest rate hike started happening, this is obviously is going to help slow down the purchasing and that inflation and increase in prices. And so in Calgary, that is actually happening as well. As you can see right here in this graph, the prices actually peaked in May of 2022 and are coming down slightly right now. But keep in mind, supply and demand always dictate price. And so if you look on these graphs, you can see that our demand is still very high. We have a lot of people still moving into Calgary from different provinces, and that has a lot to do with the ability of people to work remotely. So people, for instance, that I've helped this year moving from Toronto or Vancouver, in the IT business, these people can work remotely. So instead of staying in that particular province, they are choosing to move to Calgary and work remotely and be able to afford a home that is, half or a third of the price. So even with the interest rates higher, Calgary is still a much more affordable place to live for you and your family. So the other thing is that our inventory is very low right now. The people that are living in Calgary aren't moving, they're staying here. And so they don't want to move into a different place because the affordability factor is a huge factor, of course, in your overall budget. And it makes more sense to stay here in Calgary. So people are coming in, buying the inventory, and of course it's not getting replenished at the same rate and is really putting a lot of pressure on the real estate overall. So as long as we continue to see these high demands and low inventory, I really believe that Calgary is going to see an even more increase probably in 2023 in house prices. So based on all this information, I really believe that going into 2023, we're not going to see a big correction on house prices in Calgary. Now, the other thing that you might be waiting for is, will interest rates decrease? I doubt it. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. It might take a few years, and it may even take decades before it gets down to where it was. Those were 50 and 60-year lows for interest rates. So very likely that the interest rates are going to remain higher here for the next little while. So waiting for the interest rates to go down is probably not a great way to go and very risky. If you're waiting for the prices to drop in Calgary, once again, they may fluctuate a little bit here, but as long as that demand remains so high, and of course the jobs remain so good here in Calgary, I don't see anybody leaving here anytime soon. And of course, that's going to put pressure on our entire housing market. That includes rental as well as purchase. And that brings me into rentals. Rentals have also gone up in value as far as monthly rents. So landlords are charging more, and they're actually getting away with it now. So I'm going to give you an example here of two scenarios, one where you buy a house and one where you rent a house. Let's use the average price of a home in Calgary is roughly about $620,000 to $630,000 for a detached home. Here I have an example of a house that sold in Northwest Calgary in a very popular community in Royal Oak. And so this home sold for $620,000 recently. This same home would actually rent for probably $3,000 to $3,200 a month. So let's just use the $3,000 a month, and of course plus utilities. So let's use these two examples and see kind of where things land. Is if you were decided to wait and you rented, let's see where you'll be at after 5 years. So if you bought this house for $620,000 and you put 15% down payment, that's $93,000. You got a 5-year fixed rate at 5.2%, which is a competitive rate right now. That might change, of course. And this was over a 25-year amortization. Your payments would be $3,212 a month. So after 5 years of payments, you're going to roughly have over $60,000 of paid down equity in that home, and you still own a house. If you did the same scenario and rented that house for $3,000 a month, and over 5 years, that's $180,000 you'll never see again. You absolutely have nothing at the end, and you're probably paying a much higher rent than you did when you first started. So as you can see, for most families, buying a home does make a lot more sense, especially right now. And I do believe that Calgary's prices will probably continue to go up, and we'll see maybe some other larger cities in Canada prices come down. But again, we just have to wait and see. And keep in mind that rent is probably not going to go down anytime soon either. As long as there is continual pressure on the market, people that don't want to purchase right away are going to rent. And of course, if that demand remains high, then of course rents will go up as well. So don't get in that rent trap. I know a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people that are continually renting because they missed where they could get in, and now they're always behind. So get in, start paying down your own mortgage. It's better to pay your own mortgage than your landlord's mortgage. So as you can see, Calgary is a great place to live. We have a lot of people moving into Calgary. If you're thinking about making a move to Calgary and want to learn more about what the prices are or what you could afford, I would be more than happy to speak with you. All my contact information is below. And of course, if you want to book a call or a Zoom call, I have my online scheduler there. And let's book a time and let's chat. And let's see if Calgary is a good place for you and your family to live. Take care, and thanks for watching.